want to introduce, this is Dr. Tony Radkovic. Dr. Tony has been coming to my class for how many years now? 4?
At least 4, maybe 10.
4 years. It seems like such a short time.
Exactly.
He actually, as I told you guys, he's been, be careful coming in. Be careful. He's been very dedicated as far as closing his practice early to be able to come and talk to you guys. So we're really very, very grateful to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And because you guys are here too. Guess why I come? A lot of it is you guys dedicate yourselves to getting yourselves in healthcare. Make yourself, if you want to call it, you guys are not in school right now, right?
No.
This is extra school.
Yeah.
Okay? That tells me you're dedicated to this profession, whatever it might be. You're doing the extra work, the work that people don't want to do. There's classes, like the 3 classes during the day, that actually they can go as an elective at Upland and take it. You're doing the extra work. This is why I'm here to help you guys understand you have to do that in healthcare. You get through the schooling first, and after schooling, to learn more things as I learned as a successful chiropractor, to continue my education to get stronger in my field and my knowledge. Also my experience, so I go to a lot of talks and lectures. I do a lot of listening to podcasts and videos to make myself more, if you want to call it, be able to communicate with my patients better, but also my own personality too. You always are working on yourself. Okay, right now, who goes to Upland High? Perfect. Who goes to not Upland High? Everybody else, right? Where else do you guys go?
Rancho.
Rancho, perfect. I like Ontario. Where else? Claremont, perfect. Good. You guys, again, doing the extra work, coming in after school, do this. I'm here to help you guys. Okay. The biggest thing with healthcare is making sure you care. Who has done, besides this class, volunteer work in healthcare? So what have you done?
I volunteered at San Antonio Hospital.
So what do you do?
Basically, like breaking apart charts, discharging patients, stuff like that.
So working at San Antonio Hospital, working there, I mean, you're working there without being paid. You're actually getting the experience of seeing how things work behind the scenes, right? You work with nurses, with doctors, with front desk staff. What do you work with?
I was in the nurse station.
Perfect. How they treat you?
Depended on the weekend, because I volunteer on Sundays and depended on which week.
Exactly, because they're working hard all day long. The nurses are the hardest working people in a hospital. They see the patient from beginning to end. Doctor may pop in their head, see what's going on, but that's about it. Okay, so you're working with people that work really hard. Realize with that, what personality did you seem the most receptive to patients when you worked at San Antonio? What kind of personality with the nurses?
Pretty chipper when they were with the patients.
Okay, I call it a positive mental attitude. Even though they may be upset, the patient might be in pain, you have to walk in the room going, I'm going to do my best for this patient to make sure I get them wherever they are a little bit better. Okay, when you come with a positive attitude, that reflects the patient. It's like smiling at somebody. They want to smile back. They want to have a positive attitude. They're not going to be too upset. Might be in pain, but not too upset. So you're helping them in that experience too. I think that's one thing you got from it. What attitude do I need to get through this profession? Huge. A lot of people get in healthcare, they burn out very quickly. Okay. The hard part going through right now is the schooling part. Who wants to do a 2-year degree after high school? Become medical assistant, nursing, whatever it might be too. How about a 4-year degree? Fantastic. How about 4 years plus a graduate, a doctor program afterwards? Fantastic, good. Okay, aim for that as much as you can. I've had about 7 or 8, this is my 10th intern now at my office from Upland High School, from Chafee, from ROP program 2, that have come in, and about probably 5 are going or have become nurses. And one right now is going to APU's nursing program, which she skips the first year and goes right in the program. She's in. The reason she is because she did a lot of volunteer work at a senior home and also other centers too, including mine, to get her foot in the door, along with having good grades. Okay, that has to be number one. Okay. Any questions about that? So realize when you put the time and effort in classes like this, after school activities, volunteer work, that gets your resume when you're applying for school here. When you're taking classes, getting straight A's, put your resume here. That make sense? Do the extra work. That's what they want to see. San Antonio Hospital, we had a meeting last week. They want to open up more to the public what they do, along with more volunteers in there. So talk to Ms. Siley. She can get you contact with that too if you want to volunteer at San Antonio Hospital, which is how far away? Pretty close. So Okay? So realize that's an opportunity for you. They have a lot of things you can do there, a lot of not only just nursing, but also radiology tech. Things not dealing with people sometimes too. There's different options at the hospital. We've gone to conference, was it the summer or was it the spring in San Rita? What you talked about too, you can get a job right now at a hospital, some hospitals allow it, right toward the end of your high school or right when you graduate as just a simple job. Work your way up slowly and slowly, slowly. So as you're going to school, you can actually work in a hospital that you're experienced into without you getting paid actually, not just volunteering. So look into all these programs you have out there now for people like you. They want to get you in early. Okay, they want to recruit you, keep them at their hospitals. Is healthcare growing or is it shrinking? Growing, right? Okay, a lot of baby boomers, seniors like myself. I'm 43, senior. We're going to retire soon, right?
Yeah, I know I am.
Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Because that we need people like yourselves to help us understand how to get and stay healthy. I did a talk with a gentleman, Dan McGuire, about 2 weeks ago. He works at a place called Right at Home Healthcare. A lot of problems with hospitals is they release people to their family members after they've been hospitalized, maybe a fall or an injury, and all of a sudden they get re-hospitalized again. It's a certain term they use. That the hospital looks frowned upon them. It brings down accreditation. You want to make sure people like yourselves can help them come out of a hospital and recover quickly if that's what you want to do. That business, per se, getting people out of the hospital, managing their care to get to better quality of life again, is booming also. Along with nursing. Nursing in healthcare is the number one profession right now. And what happens in healthcare, they need medical assistants, right? They need front desk staff. They need doctors also, too. So that trickles up and down that pathway of someone's overall healthcare. Okay. Right now, grades-wise, who's getting A's and B's? Hopefully everybody. Okay, if you're not, find a way to get there, because once you get to the next level of education, maybe a medical assistant program, nursing program, or a doctorship, or even just a college degree, even Chafee, your schooling gets a lot harder. So do what you can now. There's my little on grades, my little piece on grades. If your grades aren't good enough yet, you're going to drop down when you go to the next level. It's going to be harder. You're going to have professors and teachers that expect you to know it off the bat. Because realize someone who teaches chemistry, they're probably chemistry, has chemistry background, you teach it at their language, their level. You're not going to go, we know you're from high school, not going to do this. They're not going to go, high school, we're going to slowly get you up here. They're not going to go, this is the information, learn it, I'll see you on Monday for the test. You have to be ready at their level. Okay? Especially professors in colleges, notoriously, where they don't really care. You're there to basically make sure you do the work to get the grades up. There is no extra credit. You know, you have to make sure you get in there 100% all the time. So if you do well now, that's your stepping stone at the next level. Okay? Who works outside of school right now? Fantastic. I love people that work, even though I don't care what you do, that's work ethic. That's you working extra hard to help yourself out, understand that work ethic goes to your schooling too. You play sports. Fantastic. Same thing, work ethic. Okay? On the field, even the band kids too out there right now, they're working hard after school, get themselves healthy or in their talent for one also. At that point, that's your work ethic too. Okay. Any questions about that? I'm going to jump a little bit here and there because I want to make sure you get the whole picture. With right now what you're doing, and again being here too, make sure you understand what we do as healthcare professionals, especially long term, you have to have a passion for it. Okay. I went to Loyal High School in LA, went to UCR afterwards, got a 4-year degree in biology. After 4 years I was out. I taught for a year, my old math and science junior high. I was like, never again teaching this. It's tough. I don't know how Miss Simon does it. It's up to you guys every day. It's amazing. Okay? Worked as a chemist for a year and said, this isn't for me because I blew something up. I'm like, this is good. Took my own healthcare. Okay? I became chiropractor. Chiropractic school was rough. Okay? And similar to any type of 4-year degree. It tests your patience, tests your time. You're studying when everyone else is having fun. What time is the doctor game on tonight? 7 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Okay, you guys mic them. You don't care that because you're here to learn stuff. Okay? So realize when you're in a school outside of high school, you'll be working and studying when other people are having fun. Does that sound like a great time? No, it's horrible. But you're putting the time and effort because you have the good work ethic. to get the work done. Because when you do that, your degree, whatever it might be, gets you up here. When you work hard for something, it's worth it. When you don't have to work hard for something, well. And realize with that too, because you're here also as a group, surround yourself with good people. Okay? There's a rule called 6 degrees of separation. You know what that is? If you hang out with losers, you're a loser. Sorry, that's how it works. If you hang with people that want to study, that want to work hard, get your grades up here, help you get your grades up, or help them too, that's people that are going to help you next level. Maybe here or the next after high school. I don't teach here, so I can say whatever I want to say. Kinda. She throws me out again. We talked about earlier about being with the same mentality of people, right? Okay? That's the goal. Right now, your mentality of people have to be, I want to get good grades, I want to work my tail off, so when I get to the next level, I can work as hard as I can at that point. Okay? With healthcare, you have to gain a patient's trust. Where does that start? With gaining your employees' trust. If you're going to come out and look for a job right after high school, or schooling too, you need an interview. Okay, has anyone done an job interview before? Okay. Was it hard the first time?
Kind of, but I had some preparation thanks to like Decathlon. So
Sure.
kind of going into that, it was definitely a lot easier than the first couple of interviews I would do. I wasn't as nervous, and I could actually speak to them instead of being like, yeah, stuttering all over the place.
There's something called practice. When you practice something, you get more comfortable and you get less emotional about it. Or less anxious about it, if you want to call it that. By practicing and being prepared, certain questions that you may come up, certain information they may want, at that point it doesn't make it scary. When it becomes scary, you start losing your train of thought, you can't breathe, so you sound funny. When you sound funny, you go, I sound funny, so then I'm getting more anxious, more scared. You just run out of the room, like I'm out. Next one, I'll let the next one. Okay. How about your experience
It was
with your interview?
good. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be because for me, I just kind of like went in it and it was a lot easier because I psyched myself out beforehand.
We all do. It's going to be hard. It's my life-changing event. No, but it's something where if you don't come prepared, and you show up in shorts and a t-shirt, or everyone's dressed in a suit, you're like, oh, not again. It's like going to show up to class, and you're supposed to be in, say, Bio 101, you show up to French 4. I've done that before. It's not fun when you sit in the back room, you have to walk all the way through the front, Hall of Shame, or something like that. Walk of Shame. Okay? So a lot of it is be prepared. With your schooling, prepare yourself now, but again, I'll say it again, keep your grades up, get the work experience. Okay, do you know how internships work here at Upland High? What happens is, what they'll do, is as a senior, and other schools have it too, sometimes a junior too, is you can actually go outside of school and volunteer. That's okay. I want to see everyone in here, before you guys graduate, at least for a few months, go and get some free volunteer work experience at a private practice. Okay, and in the hospital if you can. Okay, walk in, again, prepare yourself. Hey, I'm a student, I want to go into healthcare, I like what you guys do. Can I come and volunteer? When's a good time? You have to have that experience because that lets you know, are you ready for healthcare? A lot of people come to healthcare because they want to make good money, right? They may want to help you. But if you can't sit down with someone and hear them with their problem and help them with their problem and become, if you want to call it, gain their trust, at that point, this may not be for you. Okay, I was telling, I think last year's people, is go and volunteer at a senior home, even see maybe an old aunt, uncle, or grandparent, and sit down with them for an hour. Have them tell you all their stories. If that's not fun for you, then healthcare may not be an option where you're on a one-on-one with a patient. Okay, you have to have that ability, that patience, and sympathy, because you're not old enough for empathy yet, to actually understand where they're coming from. Once you can be with them in that way, at that point you can gain their trust. They're going to know, hey, look, I'm that nurse, that medical assistant, or that doctor is there for me, not for their own interest. You have to have that trust first before they even listen to what you want to do. Any questions about that? So when you have time, sit down with someone who's a senior, someone that you probably never start with, and say, hey, look, I want to talk to you, I want to hear all your stories. And they may have told you before too, but they won't remember, because sometimes they're old. So at that point, let them tell them again. At that point, Ask certain questions. Hey, what about this? What about that? How'd that work out for you? But when you have that and you can recall what they said, at that point, you have a good personality, at least right now, to start understanding how healthcare works. If you don't have that, it's hard to gain the passion when you're in school and classes are rough and you're barely passing and going, in mind you're going, I'm coming to rationalize, I can work at this place, make $10 an hour, versus being in a class which I don't want to be. To realize it takes a lot of time and effort to get through schooling first. At that point, start going to private practice or being hired by a hospital or another office, then going from there. Okay? When I was a chiropractor, start with about probably, I want to say 300 kids, probably, it's not right, but maybe 300 kids. After 3.5 years of chiropractic school, half my class dropped out. And student loans aren't cheap, right? So realize they're coming out with student loans they don't have no career with, and now they're done. Okay? After 5 years of chiropractic school, half people that are practicing and graduated with, they're doing something else too. They're dropped out. So did they have the passion for it? Maybe. Did they keep it up as they're practicing? Probably not. What we do as chiropractors, I work in a private practice, so I'm not hired by a hospital. I have to get my own patients in my office, treat them well, so to refer their friends and family. That's what it comes down to. I have to see people. Okay, I take care of people. Our practice hours today were 2 to 6:30. I left a little early because I have my partner that can take care of some of the practice while I'm gone. But also I called this morning, and she texted from Mike, and he said, hey, my neck hurts from yesterday, can I come and see you? I can't come in the afternoon, can I see you in the morning? Not a problem, I'll be there at 10:30. That's not my normal hours, right? Why not make the time to see someone? It takes me 20 minutes to see somebody, I'm in now. Okay? Spend the time with people. I give every patient my number, my cell phone number. People think I'm crazy. But no one contacts me. I think no one lets me. Probably it is. Okay? So a lot of it is, that's my personal touch with my patients. Let's know, hey, look, whatever you need, let me know. Call me, text me, whatever. I had some guy last year, he works at the bank up here, and I think Edgar, and he called me from New York. Or actually texted me from New York, middle of the night. The guy went out with the gym at 5 in the morning, because I stepped off a curb, and he had a back problem going to New York for a conference, and I had to step back because the van came almost hit me. So I stepped back, and my back, and now I can't move. So just talk to him, hey, make sure you sit down, call downstairs, have some nice pack for you too, some Ziploc bags. Goes great, that's all I wanted to hear. So it's going to be okay. So just that voice, sometimes, or a quick text, lets them know that you care about them. At that point, that's all they wanted. Any questions? I have a plethora of stories if you want to hear, but I'm not here for that. Okay, let's go to the second part of the video. Actually, for the second part of the video, a lot of what we talked about too with part of the video is you guys are a certain generation, right? What do they call you guys? Millennials, or something dumb like that. I say dumb, sorry, apologize for the big people. It's because you are who I was before, Silently's class was before, generation was before too, only a couple years ago, right behind mine. In the sense where everybody's different. Because you're categorized as millennials, that's to your advantage. Okay, realize people who work in the hospital, they're not 18, they're not 25, they're not 85, they're everywhere in between. A lot of people in the hospital, they don't like computers. They still have flip phones. You never had flip phones, did you? You did? Good, congratulations. I had 3. I'd flip it, and all of a sudden it would break because the cord break, and it's like hanging there like an animal inside. Like, dang it again. And same thing, you had the BlackBerry, other ones too. People don't want to learn something new sometimes. Sometimes they're almost going to retire. When you're working in a hospital for one too, especially private practice too, your computer skills, your social media skills, we love you guys. It takes the pressure off of us. I do all my social media, so I'm okay with that. But you knowing that, going into an office going, hey look, obviously I have a good recommendation, I've done experience, I have good grades, but also, I also help with social media. Just realize, do you have a phone book? No. Do you guys have phone books?
Nope.
No, I don't either. Okay? When I was in practice 15 years ago, no way to market, let people know what you do, it's a phone book. Yellow pages. You had the first ad in your category, you had a double track, a double page ad, you had this. Look about this. About this. Where you open the yellow book up, when I have a double page ad, color on both sides, chiropractor, best people in the world, blah, blah, blah. That's all you had. Now it's a doorstop. Okay? Now you guys have social media, we have it too. When I go online, who's the best plumber? I look at the first 3 or 4 people, but that's what I'm going to choose from. They have the best social media credibility, right? Okay? You having those skills, understand that helps you as a strength for someone that doesn't want to do that. Yes, come in our office, help us out, volunteer. We can do back office, but want to make sure you actually control our social media too. That's how you get credibility in an office or even a hospital. Also, so that's when they want to hire you full time. Any questions about that?
Can I just add that
Yes.
that's one of the things with, like, Mrs. Garcia has an adult class and then we have the high school classes. Offices are so much usually happier to get you guys because everything's computer based now and you guys aren't scared to use a computer. Older people are scared they're going to make a mistake, mess up on something.
You're going to erase everyone's files forever.
Yeah, and you guys are like, oh sure.
Easy,
You know,
yeah,
and
perfect.
boom, you're done. So it's a real asset to be in your generation. It really is.
You have the confidence. You might mess it up, and we all do because we're human. But how do you fix it? Easy. You know, versus people are like, that's it. People are like, I push that button, it's going to destroy everything, it's going to blow up on me. The anxiety again, because you don't know. Okay? That's your strength. And part of that, too, what I got from that is that weakness of being considered a millennial, okay, which they call you, is they say you have very little communication skills. You don't look people in the eye. You don't shake their hand with a firm handshake. You don't have confidence in your voice. Okay? I think that's completely wrong and farce. I think you do, but some people don't, so they stereotype. And again, every generation has this issue for one, too. Realize when you do those things, this is your strength. This goes back to using that to your advantage. When you shake someone's hand and has a firm handshake, look them in the eye, at that point, and you dress appropriately and have good posture for one, too, that go, well, that person stands out. That person isn't like the rest of their generation. And again, who cares what they think? We want the perception of, hey, I'm confident what I can do to help you guys out as a business, as a hospital, and I want to be here. The trust you're talking about is building that with your work ethic too. Again, I'm gonna put this all together in one package over time. But when you have good work ethic, at that point, that shows them what you're doing. When you can communicate with them, go, wow, they actually can speak appropriately, speak the language, if you want to call it that. Or if someone's upset at work, you kind of like, hey, sorry about that. Someone's happy, hey, that's good for them. So you adjust your personality of who you're talking to. The big thing you can do to help someone understand, gain their trust, is in a way, not manipulating, but allowing them to associate with you, is match their personality, their tone of voice, and how fast they talk. So if I'm here, I'm sitting across from somebody, and they're sitting at, say, maybe a table chair as high as mine, and I see them do this, cross their legs, I'm going to cross my legs too. Okay, I see them speak at a high voice, I'm going to speak at a high voice also. I see them kind of cross their arms and cross at the same time, I'm going to do the same thing. That association says to them in their head, hey, they're like me. I can trust them. It's a weird psychological thing you play with sometimes. When you do that, at that point you gain their trust. Crazy, huh? How it works. Okay? But again, at that point they're going to listen to you, understand you, and get the best out of their healthcare, whatever field you're in. So watch your tone of voice with people. Watch how they act, where they put their arms. Do they talk with their hands? Okay, where do they look? Look at you, look at the floor, look away. Okay, if there's someone who looks at the floor, you look at them all the time, you're staring at them, they go, well, this person's kind of freaking me out. All right, so look away a little bit. You know, write some stuff down, whatever it is too. You know, and what's the number one thing you want to hear as a person? What is it?
Nothing like you.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Nothing like you.
That was part of it, but what's the one word people want to hear? What is it? Anything? Oh, you guys don't know this? Their name. Oh, light bulbs went on. Okay, their name. So if you say, hi, ma'am, blah, 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 you know, okay, well, nice. Go, hi, Mrs. So-and-so. You know, because obviously you want to give them some respect, too. They go, wow, okay. And you repeat that a couple times when you're talking to them, or, well, nice meeting Mrs. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. At that point, they go, oh, great. He or she's respectful. and you're dealing with people that are going to be a little bit older than you sometimes, talking to another kid, you go, hey, what's going on? So again, you want to kind of play with what's going on, but most of you deal with people that are probably in their 20s or 30s or 40s or older, like myself. At that point, give them the respect. At that point, again, what happens when you do that? You gain their trust. Any questions about that? What's important? What's the most important thing in someone's vocabulary when they hear something? Their name. First and last if possible, but at least their last name. Especially if they're, say, in their 40s or 50s. Especially if you're a little whippersnapper like yourselves. Any questions about that?
That's why I told you guys you always introduce yourself to your patients.
Always.
Always.
Do you do first and last name, or what do you like to do?
Whenever I have the students, I usually just say my name is Marie. But I always call my patients by Mr. or Mrs. until they say, oh, you can call me Jim or whatever.
You let them dictate that. Once they're comfortable, they say that. Sometimes they don't, because that's their culture too. Sometimes cultural differences versus just personality differences too. And then do you shake everyone's hand all the time? You walk into a room? For the most part, I would.
You should.
Unless their hand's broken or something, or they lost their hands. You're done. You can't like, oh, now what do I do? Okay, but that's going to be accepted to the role, hopefully. Unless you work at an amputee clinic. And then, I don't know what you do. Good luck. It'll work out for you. I don't know, it's a hard place to work. Okay? So, and again, when you're doing this stuff, my biggest thing with my patients, and this is my biggest thing with my patients, and this is especially with new patients, if they're in a lot of pain, I may not help them the same. I'm going to heal you in one day. But I want to make sure I build their trust. Okay? And as you've gone through already too with Miss Simon, how to do a new patient exam. In my office, I do an x-ray. So I take the x-rays with them too. I may show them the x-rays really quick. So make sure they see the picture, not the analysis yet. And make sure I answer all their questions before they leave the first day. Okay? I want to leave them with some hope that they're in the right place. The hope that I have the right diagnosis, maybe more than one, that I can actually help them down the line. And then sometimes what I can, if I'm comfortable, I'll give them a little bit of a joke or make them laugh or giggle just a little bit. And that facilitates that, hey, I got it. Now they really trust me. Sometimes they don't. I had one lady, Leah, she's really nice now, but initially, very stoic. Okay. Cracked a little joke, she's like, nothing. No response. I failed at stand-up comedy with her. But also she's talking about how one day, and this is gross, so sorry about big people, is talking about how much phlegm she had from her emphysema or some type of like bronchial thing. I'm like, Leah, that is nasty. Don't ever say it again. So she got to talk more and more. I'm like, Leah, I'm disgusted. And I got her to open herself up. And now she won't stop talking to me. I'm trying to get out of the room like, ready to go, we have other people to see. And she keeps talking. She had like, she won at bingo at St. Joe's had their carnival, so we can sit. Kim said, I won. I'm like, fantastic. Don't have conniption. Don't have a heart attack. Just be careful. A little older, obviously, too. But sometimes it takes that time. You have to build a trust relationship with them so you know that you're their benefit. So a lot of it is, we talked about before, too, you have to care in healthcare. You have to learn and maintain a sense of passion and compassion for your patients. It has to be part of it. Schooling is rough. Schooling is meant to, if you want to call it, test you to make sure you're ready for this. Because it's not easy. To go become a nurse at San Antonio Hospital, which you had volunteered in seeing, a lot of it is to stay that chippy attitude where you're happy or someone who's positive. It's hard to maintain every day. But when you have the passion to help someone that needs your help, at that point, that's what feeds my fire to keep me going. Okay, I'm here because I want you to understand that too. I don't volunteer anywhere, but I do a lot of talks. I love interns because it gets me to wherever they are right now to see that and see them, if you want to call, grow up, so they gain that passion when I'm with my patients. If I can show you 3 or 4 videos I have of my previous interns, I didn't realize when you're with a patient, you can talk to them, interact with them. And that got them to open up, to get more passion, to stay in the profession. To go from becoming a medical assistant to maybe a nurse or a doctor. Because it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of money. You will have student loans for the most part. Most people will. Okay? you have to be able to pay them off in a specific amount of time, certain amount of time. At that point, you need something that's going to help pay for that. So make sure when you go into a 2-4-year or a degree after 4-year degree too, a doctorate or something like that, you have to follow through. In my sense, I became a chiropractor, I don't know what I would do. There was no plan B for me. Okay, with chiropractors, we don't work a lot of office hours. I'm there about 25 hours a week, which most people work about a 40-hour-a-week job. Okay, when I'm not working in my office, I'm doing talks, I'm doing interviews, I'm working on my marketing stuff, to my videos. I'm going to take this video, break it up to probably 3 or 4 different videos, along with a longer video. People see what I do. Okay, we talked about, Simon talked about how social media works. It can work to give you some communication, but it's still the handshake, still the look in the eye. It's still you being passionate, being genuine with the patient, so they see that and then again they trust you. Back to that again. Okay, use your computers, use it to learn, use it to actually understand information, and maybe sometimes with your patients too. It has to be the physical, face-to-face interactions. That's why I said earlier, make sure you go and talk to a senior or seniors and get that experience so you're comfortable with that over time. When my interns, once I give them a quick spiel of what's going on, how things work, just a couple of things and go, hey, you're on your own. What do you mean? Go and talk to that patient. Go set them up on the table. Go do their therapy. I'm going to throw them in the fire to see how they handle it. So they have no choice. Once they do that, they go, wow, it's comfortable. I'm not going to hold their hand the whole time. Same thing with your teacher. You're learning things in this class that other kids will not learn, how to apply the information. I could read all day long how to do CPR on an infant. Once I practice, at that point, I'm not going to get the hands-on touch and feel how it works, how much pressure I put in there. And when you heat the moment, again, we talked about practicing. At that point, you don't get emotional and lose your train of thought. Maybe push too hard in a baby. Okay? Whatever it might be. Okay. Any questions at all? But it's fun too. What we do is fun. Again, we crack jokes with the patient once you're comfortable with them. At that point, they understand what you're doing. At that point, you're building a professional relationship with them that at that point they go, hey, look, I'd call this guy for anything. And obviously let their friends and family know too. So when I'm in private practice, my job is to see as many people as I can by caring for one person at a time. That make sense? When you go to your doctor's office, does the front desk staff usually know your name? Sometimes they do. When they do, when you hear your own name again, does that seem comforting to you? Right? Okay? So same thing, if you do have chance to intern or volunteer in an office, try to, and it's hard sometimes, try to memorize everyone's name in there, not just their Instagram page, whatever it is too. So understand that that's important to them. Okay, sometimes you have to ask, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, can you tell me one more time? At that point, it reiterates to them, hey, look, you're trying to pay attention more. It's hard, it's not easy. Any questions so far? Do you know between character and reputation? The difference? Yes?
Reputation is like what you're known for, and your character is how you act and put roles around.
Perfect. That's a perfect example. Okay? When you do that, when you're around nobody, are you going to steal something? Are you going to cheat on your grades? Are you going to do your own homework? Are you going to work your tail off to get the best grade you can on your own? Reputation is what people see on social media, for example. What they see outside of school sometimes too. Right now, because everything is very transparent, meaning everything is basically, you can see everything now. There are laws, but there's no privacy really act out there. When you put stuff on social media, you think that affects your ability to get a job?
Yeah.
Okay? Or even schooling too? All of it. So be very, very careful. Because right now, your reputation will match your character in someone else's eyes. Someone who doesn't know you very well, realize they'll use that as a way to realize what characters. You may have great grades. They see you in Vegas, jumping off the building. They go, well, I can't trust that person. Because they're going to be able to go, they want to go, I want to go. Okay, can you take this person back, do some therapy with them? And I'm the next person, great. I want you to make sure it's going to be done, right? Sit here and watch you the whole time. It'd be boring to me. Okay? But the biggest thing is, how do I get gain my trust, I can work on your own, and making sure when you're not with somebody or social media, at that point you have that same reputation matches your character, vice versa. Any questions about that? Yes?
So
Take your
you
time.
have to have the social media in order to go into what you're doing, like at a hospital.
At a hospital, if you're a salaried employee, no. But if you run a hospital, or if you want the hospital to grow and you're part of that marketing department, or a private practice like I am myself, you need to. That's your only way to market. And I get a lot of patient referrals, so most people come from personal referrals. Someone's been there before, or a friend of a friend that they know. Upland's really small in the area. But for some people who's moving in the area, someone new, someone goes online and goes, okay, I want to see who the top 4 or 5 doctors are on Yelp or Google. They're going to go after those people. I'm going to be number 1 every time. And what I tell students too, when he gets close to getting out of school, in the last 2 years, start a social media page for yourself to get your reputation up here. Social media isn't all bad. But you can also show, hey, look, I did this day. I helped this person out. I did well in this grade. They want to see that too. I have people that actually last year, I had 2 students from chiropractic school come in to intern. I said, well, how's your social media for you? They go, what do you mean? I go, you guys are 20 years old. Do you have Instagram? Do you have Facebook? Yeah, I have Instagram. I'm like, great. What do you put on there? I'll hang out with my friends. I'm like, stop that stuff. Put stuff on there about your school, how well you're doing. That's how you get your reputation even higher. Yes?
What if you have one for personal hangout with friends and one for activities?
Fantastic to have both. But make sure the personal one shows your personal character too. Make sense? Okay, so if you're I don't know, whatever you're doing, it doesn't. And if I'm out doing something, I take a picture and I go, if someone that may want to hire me, will this look like make my character look poor or make my character look better? And a lot of it's too, and it's stuff you can't control. People around taking pictures too. So again, who you're hanging out with, that can either help or break down your reputation. I love social media. Like I said, I post videos all the time to get a reputation up here and here and here. But it can go the other way if you're not careful. But I tell the students that I had last year, build your reputation now. Because when you go out and look for a job too, again, if you want to be part of their media or their IT department, not just working their back front office, if you have good social media skills, here's what I've done for myself. This is my reputation. And that helps build up your brand as a person, and you can help them with their business or their department. They want that. That helps them become stronger too in that city, or that community. Does that answer your question? I have my Facebook. You guys on Facebook? You guys are too young. There's an age minimum. You guys are way too young for that stuff. Okay. So realize because of that, I have my personal Facebook. I have my office Facebook. I have my exercise videos that I have from my office Facebook that I put on there too. And I have my podcast Facebook too. I have like 4 Facebooks. Personal one I put on there when I go for bike rides. When I go running. Hanging out with the family somewhere. Okay? My office one has everything on there about the office. My videos, my pictures. When I go to events, whatever it is too. I have testimonials on there also too. Where I do educational videos about how to avoid back pain, how to recover from back pain. Okay? My exercise, it's called, I think, Spine Posture Exercise fan page on Facebook is my exercise only from what I do. A lot of people go to chiropractic looking for rehab exercises, right? I have a separate page for that. My podcast is you guys listen to podcasts? That's where I learn all my stuff. That's where I learn everything. Okay? I have my own podcast, Crooked Spine Show, my own little plug. At that point, that puts the information I'm doing for these videos as just an audio. Why do people like that? Because I can go work out, go for a bike ride, go for a run, listen to it, not have to watch it on my phone and trip and fall off the hill again. All right, so it makes it more accessible for people. You want to give people the best way to learn is their best way to learn. Not what you think, but what they think. When I first started in practice, our first website was phenomenal. Now it'd be worthless. But it was basically a lot of words some pictures, because there was no video yet, and it was all about what chiropractors wanted you to hear. Now, if we've learned through just learning what people want to hear, is now reverse. Okay, what does someone want to see or hear? Let's give it to them. Not what I want them to hear, but I want what you want to know. I want to help solve your problem. So I go over the most common problems. Those are on my Facebook, my website, my Instagram, my blog, my YouTube, other YouTube, and my Twitter. And that's it, I think. I don't know. Other stuff probably. I have my Google Plus page and my LinkedIn. I think that's it. So a lot of it is, I put stuff out there as solutions for what you want. So I want to, that's what I listen to my patients, what are they going through? It's always evolving, right? Your Instagram feed always continues to go and go and go and go. So we have to put information out there that helps feed that fire. People see what I do. Any questions beyond that yet? Blow your mind? How it works?
I just want to say he's absolutely right as far as what you have on your Snapchats and stuff.
Or your snap books,
Your
Insta books,
Snapbooks, Insta, whatever.
whatever it is.
It really does affect your reputation, and remember, you're not the only one taking pictures. You can be doing something totally innocent, and somebody else takes a picture and puts it on there, they can put anything on there they want to, saying that this is what you were doing, and that affects your reputation. And Dr. Tony, employers are checking these accounts now, correct?
They want to know what's your Instagram,
And colleges.
what's your, if you're on Facebook, but other ones too. What do you want? Because that again is your reputation will follow your character. Okay. Are you guys on? It's called TBH, social media platform. What's it called? To be honest. To be honest, right? It's a positive way to say, hey, it's a good job, whatever it is. Facebook just bought that a couple days ago. It's so popular.
I've never heard of it, to be honest.
You're not with the in this time. It's up with you. Gotta get
To be honest,
Yeah, it's something where you actually, instead of a negative thing, it's a positive. So Facebook bought that because they understand how popular it's going to be, how much money it can actually make. So now, instead of being things where a negative, which was very popular to get your attention, now we're switching over to more positive things. I have about 1,000 followers on Instabook or Instagram, whatever it is, okay? Because I give positive information all the time. Hey, good job with that video, good job with that post. I think that's great that you did that. I don't ever put anyone down, because that always come back to me. I don't want to put myself down, put me down. I expect not to the other people to. When you have that, again, that attitude, how do you help somebody else, maybe on their Instagram, their Facebook, or personally too, that should carry over your whole life. And everyone's different, that's what I do. Okay, that's why I'm here, to help you guys understand what to take up here to get to the next level. And make it easy for you too. Okay, a lot of you have to focus on everything. Grades are always number one. Surround yourself with good people, right? So you focus on getting next level together. Have fun, because you're still in high school, not old like me. Okay? But realize you have to work hard and plan one step ahead. What are you taking now in school, along with this? Prepare yourself to the next level. Is this going to help you for the next level? When you're in high school, you're in college too, you will take classes that I have no idea why I'm taking basket weaving. You know, you can take even after school too. I do seminars. I listen to a lot of podcasts and watch videos. I go, well, that wasn't helpful. But I have to listen to 10 videos, or watch 10 videos, listen to 10 podcasts. One may be fantastic. Let's listen to all 10. I'm going to miss something. So the information you get for every hour of lecture you have on average, you can probably apply about maybe 5% of the information. But you have to listen to all those lectures, attention to all of them, to get that 5-10%. That make sense? You have to put in the work. Sorry. It's just part of what you have to do. Because what you need, someone else may not need, and vice versa. What's going to affect your life may help you at this moment, but not help somebody else. But get yourself next level. Do the internships. Do the experience programs you want to. Volunteer. We have people from Damien, from Mount Sac, from Chaffey, from Other schools see that, come and just want to volunteer for a day. Fantastic, come on in. Teach what I can. They come back and come back and come back. They want the experience of being in a healthcare office, but hopefully they see that I care, or my partner cares, they see that experience. It helps them become passionate in their field once they eventually graduate. These are freshmen in college from Upland High School, because they came to my talks here, or Chafee, or Rancho, or Los Osos, or Alta Loma. They understand the benefit of what I do here, want to pay it forward, and keep moving with that. Any questions? Nothing? Kidding me. Yes? Okay, that's the hand.
Well, I can ask a question.
You want a second?
no,
Yep, go ahead.
When you go to ask for volunteering, do you just say I wanted to do a private clinic, like I see a pediatric
Yes.
office? Do I call them? Do I go in there and just say, hey, I would love to volunteer here. Do you have anything to offer me? Like
Exactly. You talk to the office manager too. Or second thing is, when can I come in and talk to the office manager about maybe volunteering here? At that point, that's all you have to do. And you have to have about 5 of them on your list to hopefully one accepts you. You can go for 10. Realize that office manager may just be a horrible person. Go, no, never. Don't ever call back here again. But when you call 5, you may get 2 that you like. You may get 1 that you really like. And my experience too with volunteering, I'm a chiropractor. I'm like, I've been a chiropractor before I was going to school. I took the alumni list from my school, my chiropractic school, in Upland, Rancho, Claremont area, even Ontario too. Said, okay, these are the probably 10, 12 people that have a good Yellow Page ad, right? Remember back then, this is around 2005. You guys were like babies back then. Okay? So at that point, that was all Yellow Pages. So that's what I looked at. I took the alumni directory, took the Yellow Pages, okay, who has the best ads that I'm going to call. I called about 10 of them. About 5 called me back. About 4 I went and talked to. About 2 I really liked. Once I really liked them, I went and volunteered at both. One I'm like, he's okay. Other one I really liked. And my first semester, I did this after my first semester at chiropractic school, and it's 10 semesters. So I volunteered by my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and so on, 10th semester. By then already was working in his office as a chiropractor, as a student first. And then once I got my license, at that point I was working, I already had a job lined up, ready to go. Most students in chiropractic school are worried about working after they graduate. That'll take 3, 4, 5, 6 months a year with no income. You have to plan ahead, again, for the next step. What do you want to do? What degree certificate do you want to get next? What do you have to take now to get there? To get it done. Even with this class too, they mentioned doing the terminology. Regards to terminology for college credit. Phenomenal. Why would you not do that? It's easy. It's free money. Okay. Right now, how much do you guys pay for rent at home? 0. Well, why do I pay for rent? That's what the kid says too. Like, I'm gonna start charging you rent, kid. A lot of it is you have right now opportunity, having no expenses, to enjoy volunteering. You don't have to get paid. That's why what you want to do in the pediatrics office is phenomenal. I'd love you to come to my office. At that point, that lets me know they're interested before someone else is to get paid. When I worked at my office here in Upland, I fired the first people that when I worked there because they were there for themselves to make a couple bucks, not there for the patient. I'm not going to put up with that. Some doctors will. Some doctors are like, well, let the staff run the staff. But their staff, again, that's your reputation as a doctor. They're answering the phone. They're dealing with patients one-on-one. They can either, they're your first impression, because you only get one, right? It is sometimes your staff or someone answering the phone. I go, all right, go. My partner said, we can't do that. I'm like, sorry, I just did. Let's do a write-up and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, don't waste time. Because your patients are the most important people. They call and go, well, that was a bad experience. I'm never calling them again. There is competition out there. You have to act and be better than somebody else. Be your best you can when you go to work. When I go to work, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't feel good. I watched a scary movie. I don't know, whatever. You walk in the door, I go, boom, I'm with my patient. I'm done. I'm with them, but I've been practicing 15 years. So I have the experience. You have to, over time, gain that. So you walk in and switch up here. I'm here for the patient. I'm with the patient. When someone tells you their story, say for example, you have a story where they played softball, right, in high school, and you were a phenomenal softball player, and all of a sudden they start telling their story. Do you tell them your story too? We let the patient talk. Let the patient talk. I tell myself all the time in my head, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because they're there to let you know what they've done. You're there to help them, care for them, right? Put them on a pedestal, in a sense to where you make them feel good. That's what it takes to be a doctor, to be a nurse, to be a medical assistant, gain a reputation up, and brand yourself as a good person who cares about their patients. Doesn't matter what you do in a hospital or private office. You need that reputation to build up over time. And start now. Don't wait till you graduate. So that's why I started interning right away. I volunteered as much as I could and hung out with the doctor. Even helped them on some weekend screenings too. Went out and did free volunteering at a parade sometimes, or the Lemon Festival down here in Upland, to get my foot in the door in that office. Because that's where I wanted to practice. Any questions beyond that yet? One thing too, and we talked about this last week also, what's it called, fraternizing? You know what fraternizing is? It's not a fraternity thing. It's socializing in a professional setting. So when you're in a professional setting, as a volunteer or as a hired person in the company, is it good to date other people that you work with? No. Oh, it's horrible. It usually does this. Close up. I knew people when I was in chiropractic school, they did other chiropractic students. I'm like, that's going to be a nightmare to happen. And all of a sudden, they're in class all day together. To work together with people all day long. So try not to either be the fraternizer or the person being fraternized to. Okay? If something happens like that, shut it down right away. Tell them you're not interested. My staff know you're not allowed to date any patients. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Even when they retire, never. Maybe next life they can. Because that causes a relationship that is beyond professional or personal. As a chiropractor, if I was to date my patients, that's number one. Number two reason people get sued for malpractice. Conflict of interest. So don't let that happen to you. That was our most talk last week, right? We were with people last week that work at large facilities, and that's the problem sometimes. We get that involvement, all of a sudden you have to fire somebody or separate them. You know, it's headache. So you're dealing with personal problems at an office versus with your patients. I want to be here with my patients. When you take me away from my patients, I'm going to either fire you or let you know it's not right. I don't have time for that stuff. Scary, right? No, it's not hard. When you're professional, at that point you focus on the patients and patient care. People won't bother you. Do what you have to do to get yourself there and keep yourself there.